Alright, hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to some Dysmantle. So I'm going to be playing this solo for a little bit, maybe for a little longer. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. Ultimately, the grind is starting to get to, I think, both Shell and myself, that I adore this game. I think it's an incredibly good way of handling things. I think it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy running around and breaking stuff. Unfortunately, that's also kind of hella boring from like trying to do commentary perspective, because there's just enough going on that we have to constantly keep talking and communicating, but not quite going quite enough that like well, there's too much going on that we can't like get fully off topic, but not enough going on to keep us engaged constantly. And so it's a little easier to just have me go through and grind for some things. And so to some degree, we're gonna have a couple of episodes of me just running around hitting stuff, kind of between recording sessions, especially around the holidays, because I don't want to make Shell record on Thanksgiving, which is when I'm recording this. And yeah, I could take the day off, but at the same time, I got a gnarly headache, and I don't know, post-meal, it's kind of just like, yeah, why not? Let's just record for a little while. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna grab a couple of resources, and then we're gonna head south. One of the big limitations, one of the big reasons why I want to do this, ooh, fishing spot here. I'll probably just mark it as opposed to doing anything else because my inventory is full. Oh no, it's not gonna let me. Alright, whatever. I'll get this. But there's a sledgehammer you can get in this game. I've already marked where it is. And so that's my goal for today. We gotta get that sledgehammer before I can progress. But I guess first I'm just gonna fish. And just kinda hang. So ideally what I'd like to do is probably get it to the point where maybe I've picked up a number of like interesting quests for Shell and I to do, or like I don't even know necessarily what a lot of the locations are, but this might be kind of a weird hybrid series where I run around the map for a while breaking things, and then I grab her to actually do the interesting quests together, because just the exploration I think is very much a me thing. She's a very story person. I think that's always been kind of our difference. I don't know. I like story in games, but I really like gameplay. Sometimes a game, if structured one way or another, can really capture me in a way that no amount of story can make up for. Or I guess it captures me in such a way that I don't need a story anymore. Whereas for her, she needs like a very direct feeling of like there's a story, there's a narrative. And I think that is true, that for this game it would have been much nicer if there was more like kind of secret stuff going on, and you're constantly running into like audio logs and evacuation logs. You know, what happened to people? Where did they go? What happened to everybody? What was the disaster like? And you know, would have been really nice to see a little bit more of that, but at the same time, oh well. I'm not going to complain too much. Like I said at the beginning of this, 2 Tons games are comfort food in gaming form. And I think as part of that I guess label, I personally am a little bit more willing to just kind of accept whatever. Here, I'm going to break these just so they're not in my way, because I'm going to have to come back through here. This is where the arc is, after all. That for me, I don't need intense amounts of like plot or intrigue, especially for a game made by 10 Tons, because it's just like, alright, whatever, I'm here to hit stuff, clear out zombies, and, you know, grind, I guess. And I like it. But I can see why Shell's tuning out a little bit. And so I'm gonna try and spend some time specifically going out of my way to like clear things out, maybe get to every transmitter tower, so she doesn't have to feel terribly compelled to like stick with it, or, you know, do the stuff she doesn't want to do. I don't know. Especially because we have like an absolute wealth of co-op games to play. And kind of in that vein, the other reason why I wanted to do this is playing this really makes me want to play... I'm using the wrong weapon here. Playing this really makes me want to play State of Decay 2. that I've heard from a lot of people in regards to this series that State of Decay 2 has, is quite good now. And, like, back when I first played State of Decay 2, I found it to be very boring and poorly made. The netcode was atrocious. I could barely get it to run, and, you know, it seemed to have some, like, nice merits, but it just was not worth my time. And by all accounts, that might have changed. This is another hackable tower. Overridden and extracted. We still don't know what CPUs get me. I'll have to look at it later. Ah, another bunker. But I think we need to do something to actually activate them. I forget. I know we need to build, like, defensive turrets and some other things, so that's going to be kind of high on my list of things to figure out and work on. But I think that might be something I do with Shell. Say, like, hey, you know, I found this side quest here, let's do it. I found this objective here, let's do it. And that way I can handle a lot of the just aimless wandering the world, and potentially even slaying a lot of the undead in the world as I go by. Maybe. Also admit, purely from like a gameplay and a movement perspective, it is much easier playing this game solo, which I feel like is kind of a rough thing to say. Ooh. Oi. Okay, that actually got pretty bad there for a second. Let's just heal up. Ew, this game really does not support mid-run healing. I was not expecting a leaper and a... Oh. Oh, this is the tunnel.
Security checkpoints have been established throughout the island. Prepare to show your ID. All non-essential travel is prohibited.
Unfortunately, I have the sound effects turned down way too low. So not the most audible. I apologize. Okay. I guess I might as well go back and read that. Because I could turn it up, or I could just read it myself. I mean, I guess you guys can read it as you go by. Okay. Security checkpoints have been established throughout the island. Prepare to show your ID. All non-essential travel is prohibited. There we go. You'll be able to hear a little bit of that in the background, but still. I need to do a video on that at some point, just grumping about... Never. Game developers, please do not have character voices tied to sound effects. Most games are pretty good about it. Some games are not. And it's those some games that it's just grinds my gears, gets my goat. I'm gonna need a gas mask. Do I even know how to make those, or am I just stuck? Because I need a gas mask if I want to get the sledgehammer. Nuts. I might have to go elsewhere. Figure out where the gas mask is. It's not the end of the world. Oh, right. I'm just going to keep breaking these. I don't actually know how much steel... No. I need tons of steel. I forgot. I checked it earlier and I was very much low on it. So I'm just going to be hitting every single one of these as I go by. This is the other thing I think that was getting Shell a little bit, that she doesn't really enjoy the smacking things for smacking's sake. That it's not very fun for her. And so having me do it, honestly isn't too bad. I enjoy smacking things for smacking things' sake. I guess I might as well... Oh, it's blocked. But it's a wooden house. There we go. I don't need to care. I am good. What else is here? You are. There we go. I'm kind of lethal. Let's see if I can go back and figure out what I need to do for a gas mask. Because it might have been added as just kind of a random recipe, or I need to figure out how to get one. I'm not seeing it, which is a little worrying. Okay, so tragically, it looks like I'm going to have to go down into the desert and the jungle regions to get the gas mask. Might be something that I do on my own, might be something I bring Shell with for. I think it will be. I think to some degree progression is just going to have to be a both of us thing. Either that or she just outright just says, like, nah, I don't want to play any more of this. Which I think is fair. I definitely kind of go back and forth on the idea of... I mean, playing video games for a living is kind of a weird thing to begin with. Is there... I mean, there's stuff here. I could get all of this, but I really want to come back with a sledgehammer. So I think what I'm going to do is just run and get towers, if I can. Or everything is currently poison gas. Well, this is certainly convincing. It looks like I'm just kind of in the wrong area. It's fine, I guess. Maybe I should just... I guess I'm just gonna go elsewhere in the meantime. Clearly, like, I can't get much here. Obviously, we're gonna need a lot of materials, but I think the best time for me to specifically go out of my way for this stuff is once we have, like, the Kofesh and the sledgehammer, or even the Power Fist. But I think you gotta beat the game to get... Beat the game? You have to get really dang far in the game to get the Power Fist. So I'm a little leery on getting that one. Unfortunately, I've spoiled myself a little bit on, like, what I'm supposed to do. Efficient actions are important to me. Let's see. So we've already got that. We do not want to do the Ascension Signal. Nope. I want to fast travel. Let's actually go back to Fairwood, because we've got a couple of things that we can do that I haven't done yet. Including, head back to my farm. I think I've pretty much cleared these areas out, so I don't have to worry too much. I guess I could check real quick and see what I'm missing in some of these zones, but eh. So my options are, I could go north and see what's there. I can farm. Well, farming seems to be super easy to do. Just cripes. I'm just going to be swimming in this stuff. I was really hoping I could get a perk that increases my overall harvest yields, because that would actually go pretty dang far. Really, the thing that we need more than anything else, especially after this, is going to be wheat. I don't actually know if there's anything else for me to even plant. At least nothing that I have access to. Just harvest everything. Well, I don't think I will be limited on food for a while. There we go. Grab the carrots. Try to put them back. There we go. Alright. And then we want the seed bag again. I could do some more farming, but eh. Let's see. How we doing? Actually, it looks like... I don't want to say we're that limited on onions. Because we're not. Boy, this is going to take a while. It's also 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, this poor guy would be cooking. I have a very low heat tolerance. If it's hot, I am sad. Just does not work for me. Apparently my brother has a very high heat tolerance. He does not mind if he's overheating. I cannot do that. Never been able to. So do we plant anything else? Because I swear... I should have tons of all of these. If even more for carrots. Oh, because carrots require less. I mean, I might as well put like a harvest down. I just more or less want to make sure that I'm never going to run out. Let's see. Kind of overkill. Who knows how many cooking recipes there even are? Hey, did we look it up, or did we like see a number go by at some point, or am I thinking of something else? I think I'm thinking of something else. That's those. Do we just potato? Sure. I'll just plant as much as possible. Here's the thing. Even if it turns out that this is unnecessary, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure or something like that. I forget the exact phrase on that quote. But it's always stuck with me as kind of weird wisdom of like, yeah, of course. You know, if you don't want to deal with the consequences of, not your actions, but if you don't want to deal with a negative outcome later, sometimes being over-prepared is a good thing. Back when I was in the Scouts, there was a... I mean, be prepared is kind of like one of the main mottos, I guess. And I very distinctly... Oh, that's a dig spot. I very distinctly remember going backpacking once. And... I mean, obviously, I think there's kind of a limitation on a number of these things where too much gets silly. But I wonder if the deer don't respawn if I've got the deadly transmission on. It's kind of unsettling. But for the backpacking trip, there was one guy that was over-prepared, and there was one guy that was under-prepared. The over-prepared guy brought, like, a second pair of boots, and, like, his pack was, like, 40-something pounds, and like, mind you, we were in middle school. Like, this is a lot for somebody that young to be trucking around with them. And the guy did it. He carried the bag the entire way, and he was miserable. Hated the entire trip and never went backpacking again. The guy that was underprepared, on the other hand, was miserable too, for the completely different reason. That he only brought like kind of a mediocre pair of shoes, which like maybe could be fine, but it was like a 10-mile trip with 30 pounds on your back. Like that's tough, no matter how you shake it. And that, you know, he had gotten a bad backpack. Was the one that I remember specifically, that he didn't want to rent one, so he was like, I'm just gonna carry a duffel bag, and we had to be like, no. You know, this is a terrible idea. Do not try going on this massive uphill mountain hike backpacking trip with a duffel bag slung across your shoulders, hoping that that's going to be, you know, sufficient. That, you know, maybe you could rough it, but it's going to screw you up, and it's going to be deeply uncomfortable the entire way. And, you know, there are only so many adults on the trip, and like, if you really run into problems, other people can help share the load, but it's not going to be a good idea. And so the guy was like very committed to the idea until like the prep day, at which point he shows up and one of the people is like, all right, just take your bag and just, you know, walk X number of laps around and, you know, shift the weight. Everybody was doing this. It wasn't like some kind of weird hazing thing. But, you know, try and make sure that your pack is properly loaded and weighted and isn't going to, like, overbalance you or have something, like, in an odd spot that's going to be incredibly uncomfortable. And so Duffel Bag Boy more or less, like, got into that and then immediately gave up because it was not going to be worth it for him. I felt bad because I think ultimately he just didn't end up going on the trip. But everyone knew that it was not going to work, that his duffel bag idea was going to be a miserable experience. And I think we're all kind of happy that he didn't go. And I feel bad now, you know, thinking back on the whole situation, realizing that this poor guy probably was just doing the duffel bag idea because he couldn't afford a backpack, or he didn't care. It's really hard to tell. I lived in Southern California, so almost everybody there was rich, but the couple of people that weren't, you gotta realize that property values in California are rough. Rent is rough, and I mean, the pay was good, hopefully, for some people, but you never know. So maybe the guy straight up just did not have a better option. But do I not have the baseball card? No, I do have the baseball card, which I should probably upgrade at some point. Looks like I'm fine. That shell is gonna be invading. Nope, can't fish here, but that's fine. Let's just see what's up here. But so I think at the time I was judging the guy a little bit for, just bringing this duffel bag. I think some part of me was thinking that he was just stupid, but nowadays I'm more than willing to actually bet that he was just incapable of buying or even renting a backpack. Or, maybe he just didn't care. I don't really know. But it still kind of goes back to that, like, ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That for both of these guys, thinking ahead and, like, preparing well. Over-preparing was bad. Under-preparing was worse. Finding kind of that nice equilibrium is important. And that, had both of them gone on this trip. Now that I think about it, I think these might have been completely different backpacking trips. They're, like, two of the hardest ones I ever went on, admittedly. I don't know how to change targets here. Wow. Okay, that was lucky. Considering how easy these guys are capable of just, like... Or how easy it is for them to just delete me. Let me guess, is this more pizza? Eat it? Pause every once in a while. Shell is on the move, talking to her family for Thanksgiving. Can't blame her. Just gotta make sure that she's not gonna invade my recording studio. And then I have to say hi to family. I'm being a misanthrope today. I got a headache. Wake up and immediately it's just like, alright, go, go, go. You gotta make Thanksgiving dinner. It's like, oh, right. I'm an adult now. I actually have to do these things. I miss the days of yore when I was but a child. Where I'd get up, help make the cheesecake, and then that was it. That was my job. Now as an adult, I have to do everything. Admittedly, Shell does most of it. Frankly, almost all of it. Ooh, hello, you look nice and spooky. There we go. Alright, set that off. Unfortunately, it's not enough to break anything. Which is a bit of a shame. Would have been great if it could have broken everything, but still. If there's nothing particularly interesting or valuable up here, I'm just gonna probably go up and break it. I think I'll save these, like, weird B-lister areas for just kind of when I'm playing solo. I think I'll take Shell to the pyramids and whatnot, because apparently there's pyramids. This game is weird. Yeah, let's just break everything for a bit. I don't know how much of these electronic pieces I need, but I'm going to assume I need an amount of them. I am very much appreciating coming back with, like, higher tier stuff, though. And it's part of the reason why I do want to try and maybe rush to get that sledgehammer if I can. Because if I can get that sledgehammer, we have a reasonable chance of being able to destroy everything, walls included. Maybe not everything. Because I don't think I can break, like, those cliffs. If I could break those cliffs, I'd be a actually really happy camper. I don't think I'm going to do a deadly transmission for this area. I don't think I need to. Not until we know that there's something worth coming back here for. Borealis area. It looks like there's stuff. Yeah, in the meantime, I'm just gonna explore. We'll find what we can. 55 campfires. Right, that's what it was. I think we'd seen the number for how many campfires there were. And I was slightly taken aback. What I want to find are the dogs. That if there is a quantity of dogs for me to hunt. I want hides. That's why I came up here. I want hides and telephone poles. Just gonna grab every telephone pole I can. We should probably also build a lumber mill somewhere and actually use it. Because I know I'm low on lumber, and I'm gonna need more of it. There we go. But most of all, we need steel. Is that another? Probably is. Auto doggo. There we go. Yeah, the more bones and hide I can have, the easier it's going to be. I don't actually know how much we're going to need overall, but if I can just have like a large supply, it'll probably be worth it. Looks like we found a prison. What I really want to do is go over here, though. Maybe. Because, yeah, just being able to warp to these locations is probably going to go decently far. Because, like, this place, for example, has a quest. Has some things, but I think I'm just going to leave it for now. Because what's the point of exploring this area? Sure, it might give me some EXP. But what's the point of exploring this area if I'm going to have to come back later with the sledgehammer? I'm just going to grab every transmission tower that I can feasibly reach. And fight every evil dog, mongrel, heinous hound. And, you know, gather things along the way. That's my goal. Okay, what else do we have? Arrow. I'm paying attention. If I can press the inventory button. There we go. These I'll get as I go by. I just wanna clear everything out, so there's no reason to come back. 8 mushrooms. If I can. There we go. Because I know we're going to need a ridiculous amount of this stuff if we want to fire off the arc. And I think I am going to go out of my way to do that. Probably. At this point I feel equally committed, but also interested. But also wanting to hit the fast forward button. I've talked about this before, the novelty threshold. There we go. That for me, every game is interesting and fun for as long as the mechanics remain as such. But oftentimes, many games get kind of dull after X number of hours. And it can be for any number of reasons. But for me, it's usually the point where you've hit kind of the upper limit as far as, I'm not even going to interact with radios. We'll get those later. The upper limit as far as character progression goes, or some kind of, like, grind wall. If a game had me level every 15 minutes for the entire playthrough, I think I would love that. When a game slows down tremendously and is like, you know, actually, you know, you're gonna gain like 20 levels in the first 3 hours, 10 levels in the next 3 hours, and then after that it's just glacial. I don't want to say that that's necessarily a bad thing, but like, why slow it down? It gets rid of that that reward structure feeling in a way that I almost feel like most games should actually be the reverse. That you level very slowly initially, or hell, maybe, I don't know. I just feel like by the end of the game you should be leveling faster, and it should be like kind of more epic. You know, it's like, you're a big damn hero now, you're getting ridiculously strong, you're punching moons. as opposed to this kind of weird glacial crawl. Because I find that glacial crawl is usually when I start losing interest in a game. Not because I don't like it anymore, but just because it's, you know, the intrinsic reward structures that are built into the game have since decided that it is now time to pull back and to really make you work if you want to get the good stuff. I think for me, I don't want to say I disagree with that philosophy, but I find that to be kind of onerous. So what is even up here? I don't even know. Look at the campfire. Like, very real possibility we just grab this and leave. Like, obviously there's stuff to do here. Like, there's whatever this is, which actually looks kind of interesting. Yeah, a couple of, like, odd-looking pits and whatnot. But almost all of this is not super exciting. At least not until I've gotten the sledgehammer. I'm just gonna leave. Because, yeah, I could get another deadly transmission, but I don't think I want to. Okay. I think it's nice to have a plan, and to know what that plan is. My plan is currently run south. Okay, let's go back here. We are wearing way too warm of clothing for what I'm about to do. Okay. Camp. And, oh. Turret specialist. Ammo capacity, reload speed. Search efficiency would be big. I'm gonna go for that. We still haven't actually made a turret yet. Oh, teardown efficiency. That's nice. Berserker Charm. Melee damage versus monsters, reduced damage block. I mean, sure. Hand wraps. It's just power attack damage, which is good but hard to pull off sometimes. Evade chance. Master lockpick requires titanium. This requires cactus. I might as well grab the tackle just because. It's a road warrior. Oh no, I already have the road warrior jacket. Okay. And I appreciate the bonus running speed. Melee attack speed, damage versus trees. Good for heat protection. And then this. Okay, cool. Then I should have far less trouble going south. I just have to find my way south. I might want to actually consider that Berserker Charm. Ooh, what are you? It's a pretty flower that I can do nothing with. Alright. Yeah, let's see if I can find... Well, some fish. I guess I'll get the fish as I go by. Grab this, grab fish, and just go fishing for a bit. I've been doing a lot of fishing in video games lately. It's odd. I think normally I hate fishing mini games because there's kind of this implicit time waste feel to them. But up until I think this fall, some part of me was constantly just kind of in this mental headspace of like, play a game, get to the end, done, move on. And I think that has been really unhealthy from like a gameplay perspective of like, it's not actually very fun to play games just to try and like beat them as fast as possible. Like that very much is a bad headspace to be in when playing a video game. I think it can work, but if you're just trying to race to the finish, you really do miss quite a lot along the way. And that, you know, I think I've been putting myself in that bad headspace for a while because of analytics, and that's been infuriating. And so now I'm trying to take my time a little bit more. Even if maybe it's not always the best. Hello. This looks like the right place. Ooh. That's a hell of an EXP boost for fishing. And this looks like it might be an entry wall. But it's locked off. Okay, well, we can kill that. These things are creepy. I don't know if we're gonna get a proper explanation on what they are. Let's see. Ow. It's fine. They don't actually do too much damage to me. Alright, there we go. Boy, there's a lot of these guys. Can I power attack? Thank you. Nope. Can I power attack? Thank you. Yeah, we've got tons of them. Okay, keep my distance. I think, yeah, we're still very much in... can kill these things permanently territory. I think I'm gonna go out of my way for that. Let's just drop the scrap metal. Bone is way more important. Interesting, because I think these things drop leaves, though. Leaves and bones. Some kind of weird fusion creature, maybe? Oh, wait, there is a terminal back there. Oh, but you know what? The terminal is probably on the other side. What if I can just break these gates? Not with what I currently have, obviously. No. Can I break the walls? Huh. Yeah, with the sledgehammer, I can actually just break those. I think the sledgehammer will do it. Egg. Just dump the plant matter. Egg more important. I can get plant matter anywhere. Cannot get egg anywhere. There we go. Get it all. Get you. Hello, you. Yeah, I feel like at this point these guys should just be running away from me. They should know. There we go. We do not have a campfire nearby. I mean, we do. We do. I might as well just head back. Grab what I can. Let's see. Which is the more efficient path? I don't know. Oh, hello. Okay. And the well wants actually useful things. Oddly enough, brown mushrooms. They're common, yes. Ooh. I do not like this song. Yeah, the mushrooms are common enough, but everything else is more common. Okay. Let's just go dump this off. Well, this is a productive non-trip. Sup, der? Kinda wish you could actually just ride one. Why not? Just go nuts. Alright, let's try this again. Hopefully there's an actual entrance out here. And if there's not, then I have no idea where I'm going, and I'm just gonna have to hoof it somewhere. Alright, grab everything. Hello, Shell.